Good evening. Bonjour, Wache, Anin, and welcome to Lakehead University's Indigenous Graduate Celebration. Denise Baxter, Indigneous, Makwa Dodum, Martin Falls, and Donjaba. My name is Denise Baxter, Vice Provost, Indigenous Initiatives, and I will be your MC for our celebration this evening. I would like to thank everyone who joined us this evening for accepting our invitation to come together to celebrate the graduates. The elders, leadership, family, friends, First Nation education directors, Ministry of Colleges and Universities Indigenous Education Branch, Lakehead University, faculties and staff, and a warm welcome to Chief Musquash from Pacepat First Nation, whose son Clifford is in the graduating class this evening. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the lands that we are gathered on. I recognize right now that we're spread all over the place, but the two campuses of Lakehead University would like to respectfully acknowledge that its campuses are located on the lands of Indigenous peoples. Lakehead Thunder Bay is located on the traditional lands of Fort William First Nation, signatory to the Robinson Spirit Treaty of 1850. Lakehead Aurelia is located on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe. The Anishinaabe include the Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi nations, collectively known as the Three Fires Confederacy. Lakehead University also acknowledges the history that many nations hold in this area around our campuses, and is committed to a strong relationship with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples based on the principles of mutual trust, respect, reciprocity, and collaboration in the spirit of reconciliation. I have a few housekeeping items to go through before we begin our celebration. The first to note, that if you didn't notice on the slide deck, was that we are recording this recording for today. We've been asked by a few people, Shaw TV being one of them, to share this with the wider community, and we'll be using it, of course, on our website. So participants are reminded that this online celebration is being recorded. We are doing this to preserve a record of the event in the university's archives and to publicize and promote Lakehead University. Convocation ceremonies are considered public events, and by attending, you are agreeing to be included in the recording and its public dissemination in any media, now known or later developed anywhere in the world in perpetuity. So thank you for joining us. I think we're all pretty well adapted to Zoom right now, but we have muted people to keep the background noise to a minimum. I myself have banished everyone in my household to the far reaches so that it's quiet. And we will be unmuting speakers as they will be speaking. So please just remember to be aware of that. And if you take your mouse and you hover across the bottom, there's a little bubble that says chat. And on the right-hand side, it should pop up. There's a chat pod there, so you can message all the graduates. I see Cheryl waving. Hi, Cheryl. You can message independently people, but please know that that chat pod is there. So I would like to take a moment to introduce our two elders. At Lakehead University, we are a community that ensures and shares a space with elders to celebrate Indigenous culture through our Elder in Residence program and our Elders Council. Elders are at the heart of our culture and ceremony, and we are proud of all that they do for Lakehead students. We are honored this evening to have Elder Jerry Martin from Wanakamik First Nation and Elder Beatrice Twans-Hines from Bittagong First Nation. Elder Martin will share an opening prayer, and Elder Twans-Hines will share a hand drum song. So I'd like to pass it over to Elder Martin.
Okay. You want the long version or short version?
It's up to you.
It is indeed a happy occasion, a proud occasion, whenever we have Anishinaabe people graduating and accomplishing things. Our grandparents, Shomazak and Nokomazak, would be very proud of you and are proud of you. Whether they're here with us or in the spirit world, you set a good example for our children and our grandchildren to look at what you're doing, and we'll try to follow in your footsteps as good examples. We thank the Creator for this beautiful day. Nice sun shining out there. A little cool, but it's nice. And we're alive. And that's something we should be grateful for, since in lieu of, we just did the funeral ceremony Saturday for our elder Dolores Wawie, who's gone on to the spirit world. She's been much a part of everything that we have accomplished and strive to do here at LU. And we will do our best to carry that effort on forward for many generations and for years to come. So without saying any more, say Chimi Gwech Kichimanatu Waushana.
Miigwech, Elder Martin, and thank you for those kind words as we remember those that walked before us, as well as those with us today. I would like to now pass it over to Elder Beatrice.
Bonjour, congratulations to all the graduates. The song I'm going to sing is Miigwech Gije Manitou as I continue my walk, my journey, Miigwech. Ya 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 ya, we hi hey hi yo, we hi ya hey hi yo, we hi ya oh we hi ya hey hi yo, we hi ya oh we ya hey yo. Miigwech Kichi Manito Nimaje Pimose We Haya We Haya Hey Hayo We Haya Ya Hey Ya 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 we hi hey hi yo we hi hey hi yo we hi we hi hey hi yo we hi ya hey yo Miigwech Kichi Manito Nimaje Pimose We hi We hi hey hi oh We hi ya hey yo ya 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 we hi hey hi yo we hi hey hi yo we hi we hi hey hi yo we hi ya hey yo Miigwech Kichi Manito Nimaje Pimose We hi We hi hey hi yo We hi ya hey yo Ya 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 we hi hey hi yo we hi hey hi yo we hi we hi hey hi yo we hi ya hey yo Miigwech Kichi Manito Nimaje Pimose We hi We hi hey hi yo We hi ya hey yo
Wow, Miigwech. So Miigwech, Elder Martin and Elder Twans Hines for the beautiful opening and the beautiful words of us to remember those that have walked before us. I would now like to introduce our President and Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Moira McPherson, to address the graduates and our guests.
Thank you very much, Denise, and thank you very much to Elder Jerry for your opening prayer, and also thank you, Elder Beatrice, for the beautiful opening song. Before I deliver my message today to the graduates, I would also like to start by acknowledging some of our special guests. So I would like to acknowledge first both Chief Peter Collins of Fort William First Nations, and clearly a very avid Toronto Maple Leaf fan, along with Councillor Ted Williams of the Chippewas of Rama First Nation. I'm so honored to serve as a president of a university that is located on the traditional lands of Fort William First Nation, as well as on the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe territory. Lakehead is committed to continuing to work with Fort William First Nations and Rama First Nation, with Metis peoples, and with Indigenous leaders in our region to support post-secondary students and to support post-secondary education. And we pursue this goal with strength and commitment and in alignment with our strategic priorities. And in doing so, we bring diversity of knowledge and understanding, equity of access, and we promote the cultural vibrancy, social outreach, and the impact of Lakehead University. So I start by saying thank you very much, Chief Collins and Councillor Williams, for attending our event today. We are also incredibly grateful to have the National Chief, Perry Bellegarde, attending this celebration of our students' achievements. Chief Bellegarde, we admire you. We admire you as a powerful advocate for honoring and implementing inherent and treaty rights, and as a passionate speaker. And on behalf of Lakehead University, I sincerely thank you for coming today and speaking to our graduating class. And to the class of 2020, congratulations on your graduation. As I look out at all of you today, and at the beginning I was scrolling through my screens and recognizing some of your faces and your families and the staff and the different people who have supported you. And I see how proud and happy you are of the hard work, the hard thinking, and the commitment that's brought you to this day. You've accomplished so much here at Lakehead, and we are hopeful that your efforts going forward will help make our world a better place. I sincerely wish that we could have celebrated your achievements together on our campuses. We would have loved to have shared our pride in person with you, your friends and your family, and with your Lakehead family. And while the pandemic has limited our physical interactions, it has not limited the significance of your exceptional achievements and the promise of future achievements that come from learning and living these past years as a Lakehead student. We are especially proud of how all of our students have adapted to the challenges that we have faced this past term, and how you have demonstrated your resilience and your spirit in so many ways. I've had a chance to review the names on this very special class of graduate list, and each and every one of you should be bursting with pride. I've learned that some of you are heading to further studies, or that you're starting jobs or professions as the next steps in your journey. All of you will be joining well over 1,000 Indigenous graduates of this university who are making a difference in their home communities, in communities across Canada, and indeed in communities across the world. As graduates of Lakehead, you've gained so many skills and experiences, and you've learned with great faculty, and you've been supported by the best staff, many of them around the Zoom room today. And I know that many of you have participated in valuable learning and research experiences within different communities. I can tell you from the many years of experience that I have following the paths of Lakehead graduates that you have everything it takes to make the next giant steps and to be giant change makers. Lakehead is a nationally and a globally recognized university, and you are uniquely poised to lead the deep changes that are necessary. We are also thrilled to have some of the families and friends of the graduates with us today in the Zoom room. And I also want to acknowledge your contribution to today's celebration. To all of you that have supported, encouraged, and held our students close through all of the personal triumphs and tribulations, we're thankful for your efforts, and we hope that you see this day as your achievement as well. So congratulations to all of you. So to the class of 2020, keep us in your hearts and your minds as you, our exceptional graduates, make our future better and brighter. We cannot wait to learn about your many successes. And I'd like to also close by giving a special thank you to Denise Baxter and to her team for organizing this wonderful event to acknowledge our Lakehead Indigenous graduates. So my sincere best wishes to all. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Thank you, Dr. McPherson. I would now like to introduce our Provost and Vice President Academic, Dr. David Barnett, he works obviously directly with our department, but also is in charge of the whole academic side of our house. So welcome, Dr. Barnett.
Thank you, Denise. And thank you so much for inviting me to speak at today's Indigenous student graduation celebration. First, I'd like to echo the words of our President and Vice-Chancellor by thanking the Indigenous leadership with us today and the family and friends of our many graduates that we are here to celebrate. I would also like to thank Denise Baxter, our Vice Provost Indigenous Initiatives, and her entire team for putting together this celebration. I know how committed they are to the students and the support they provide each and every day. To you, members of the class of 2020, I say congratulations. This is a special day, and while we would prefer to be together rather than through Zoom, please know that everyone at Lakehead University joins you in celebrating your achievements. I want to recognize the 104 graduates we're here to celebrate today. We're coming from a broad range of programs from across the university. The graduates we are recognizing today have been actively engaged in research, scholarship, volunteerism, and international travel to a variety of countries, including travel to Indigenous communities outside of Canada. Research and volunteer work includes examples such as food sovereignty, civil liberties, equity, business, art, decolonizing systems, health programming and research, and medicine in remote northern communities. With only 6 weeks remaining of their studies, these graduates were quick to adapt to the unprecedented online learning module and successfully completed their degree requirements and completed their entire program. Graduates, you should be proud of your achievements. Your friends, family, and communities are here to support you, and I know that they are all very proud. I see graduates from across the faculties, from education to engineering, from humanities, from the sciences, from healthcare and business, and from law and medicine. I see graduates that have made a commitment to academic excellence and to making a difference both inside and outside of the classroom. Some of you may know exactly what your next step will be. Some may still be exploring. Some may continue on to graduate studies either now or in the future. No matter where you are right now, we know that you have what it takes to build on what you've learned at Lakehead, to bring change to our world, and to be the leaders of tomorrow. So I want to thank everyone who's been on this journey with you, and I ask that everyone gathered today, please join me in wishing a sincere congratulations to these graduates. Miigwech.
Miigwech. Thank you, Dr. Barnett. For those who haven't used the Zoom, if you flick your cursor right down to the bottom right-hand corner, you should see a little smiley face with a plus. That gives you the option to do a magical clap or a thumbs up. So if you'd like to, they'll go down after a little while, but they'll pop up like that for you. So feel free to utilize those throughout the session if you would like. So thank you very much, Dr. Barnett, for your kind words. Yay, happies. I would like to I had spoken with Tim Pyle, who served as the Métis Nation of Ontario, who served the Métis Nation of Ontario as the Secretary Treasurer for the past several years. And he's just recently stepped down from that chair in this over this last month. But he has certainly worked to serve the students of Lakehead University through various committees, through NOSM, through the Alaskan Faculty of Law, through the Ogemawan Advisory Education Council, and various other ways. So he has written a small statement that he's asked me to read on his behalf. So this is from Tim Pyle. Dear Class of 2020, on behalf of the Métis Nation of Ontario, I would like to extend our congratulations to all of you for your incredible achievements. Your determination, grit, and unyielding vision as you work towards your goal has been now realized. We recognize graduates from every faculty, NOSM or Alaskan School of Law, with professional, undergraduate, and graduate degrees. We are proud of your accomplishments and look forward to the incredible things you will continue to do in the future. Our First Nation, Inuit, and Métis communities are in need of bright minds that want to make a difference for future generations. Congratulations to the class of 2020. All the best, Tim Pyle, former Secretary Treasurer, Métis Nation of Ontario. So it's unfortunate that he was not able to join us, but I was really glad that he was able to share his kind words with us all this evening. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the Chief of Fort William First Nation and Mkiwaju, Chief Peter Collins. We've had the pleasure of hearing him speak at the Alaskan Faculty of Law ceremony and on several other occasions face to face. And I'm sad for you that the Toronto season abruptly ended because they're actually having a pretty good season this year. But I would like to extend our welcome to Chief Peter Collins to address the graduates.
Thank you, Denise, and good evening, everyone. It's with great pleasure that I participate in the graduation celebration here tonight. First of all, I want to recognize Jerry and thank him for starting us off in a nice way. PERS guides us and gives us strength and gives all the graduating students the strength and to continue forward. Beatrice, always a beautiful song coming from your voice, and it's always nice to hear. Moira, again, I know you and I, when we first met, we got off on our own foot, but it takes work and commitment and dedication to changing, the way we think and the way we move forward. And I thank you for your commitment and your work. And I look forward to the continued work representing Fort William and you representing the university. Dr. Barnett, I feel like a doctor lately over the past 3 months or 4 months that we've been dealing with COVID. We've been dealing with many different situations in our communities, and you got to learn a lot when you're dealing with such a tremendous pandemic that's having an impact on our communities. To Chief Musquash, to the National Chief, to my friend Ted from Rama community. If you don't know Ted is a former professional baseball player and a real good golfer. So one thing that I was going to talk about the young man with the dog until he sent the dog away and brought his Montreal jersey out. We're living in a different world today, and when you're celebrating your journey and your work and your efforts to be successful in school and getting your education, it's a proven fact today that the students never let the hindrance of a pandemic slow them down, slow their commitments down, slow the work that they needed to get done to graduate. And it's a great celebration for them today. It's always a challenge, and when we're dealing with such a different world in many different fronts. You look at what's going on in the world, and systematic racism is still alive and well, and there's many challenges we need to face, and we can face them together. And that's what my message has been to everybody. We can get through this together if we stay committed to making changes. And the ultimate goal is to make good friends and have good friends in your life. To all the families that endured the hardship or endured the time and the many challenges for the young people to get their education, we stand proud with the graduating students of 2020 today. it's always nice to celebrate. I wish we could have did it in person, but nonetheless, I'll cherish the moments I get to do as I wind my career down as chief in our community. And it's always a challenge, nonetheless, to make sure that things that you do are right and successful. And all I could say to this graduating students of 2020, stay committed to yourself, stay committed to your community, stay committed to your family, and look for greater success in your life. And on behalf of the 2,500 members I represent here in Fort Wayne First Nation, I say welcome and enjoy your celebration here today. Miigwech.
Miigwech, Chief Collins. Always a pleasure to listen to you speak. And I'm hoping that you are taking advantage of the nice weather and the golf course as well. It's open finally. Yes. So I would like to also extend a warm welcome to Councillor Ted Williams, who's joining us on behalf of Chief Rodney Noganosh, Chippewa of Rama, Majikaning First Nation. I've had many opportunities to sit down and listen to Ted speak and, you know, talk about he is a golfer, that's for sure. But more importantly, talk about his community and the people that he serves within it, and the students from his community that also, you know, come to Lakehead and go to other post-secondary institutions. So I wish I was with you a little bit closer. I know the last time we saw, I think, was March before this whole thing happened. But I was really pleased that you were able to join us here this evening. So I'd like to pass the floor to you, Councillor Williams.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Denise. It's good to see you as well, and Moira, it's good to see you. First of all, Anin, bonjour, good evening. My name is Ted Williams. I'm from the Chippewas of Rama, Rama Minjikin Donjaba. And my clan is Gigon, Fish Clan. And I'm here to, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge the elder, Jerry Martin from Matagami First Nation for the opening prayer, and the hand-drunk song from Elder Beatrice Twans Hines of the Mitikun First Nation. And on behalf of the Chief and Council and the Chippewas of Rama, I would like to congratulate the class of 2020. Congratulations for working through the challenges of this year, of the last however long you've been in continuing your education, and also for your chosen path and succeeding in a year that will certainly stand out in educational history. Years from now, you'll be able to tell people that you graduated in 2020, and they will know what that means. They will remember this year when the entire world was suddenly united by crisis. It is a year when toilet paper became an issue. Grocery shopping turned into a high-risk activity, and we had to give up hugs for virtual expressions of love and comfort. It is a year when we had to think about everyone around us and how best to protect them. Each of you graduates completed your studies at home with the support of your educators, your family, and your friends. We could not be more proud of each of you. We urge you to take with you this experience with you and all the tools that it has provided. In the landscape that we have now, which seems to be characterized by intolerance, let your strong voice pave the way for Indigenous generations to come. I would like to add something a little more personal. It's called the 4 Ds of success, and the first one is desire. You got to have it badly enough with unshakable commitment, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices. That desire has to be intense. You have to make a decision right now to do whatever is necessary and be willing to pay the price to achieve your goal, whatever that might be. This decision could be a turning point in your life. Determination, the key that will have you succeed despite the challenges, the obstacles that you will have to overcome and have overcome. And my personal favorite is discipline. You'll get sidetracked and numerous other activities which will crop up trying to shut you down from your goals, but you have to exercise your discipline, because the discipline is the habit that is necessary for achieving success today and in the future. So on behalf of the Chippewas of Rama, my chief and council, we wish you all the best and congratulations in graduation 2020. I'd like to say that we have a great relationship with the people with the institution of Lakehead. We're very, very proud and pleased with that. And I want to say hello to my friend Peter, my other friend Cynthia, my good friend Chief Peter Collins. It's good to see you, and it's nice to see that you're all looking fine and healthy. Miigwech, have a good graduation ceremony, everyone.
Miigwech, Councillor Williams, and thank you for the 4 Ds. I was actually making notes, if you can see, as you were talking. I think they're good lessons in life as we all move forward day by day. I would like to take this moment to introduce and welcome the Vice President of Lakehead Alumni Association, Yolanda Wanakamik, to speak to the new graduates. And it's an interesting time, I think, for her to be speaking as the Alumni Vice President, because she herself is also a graduate today. So
yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And greetings, class of 2020. Wow, what a year to end our education in. I just want to say first, to begin, I would like to say miigwech to Jerry and to Beatrice for the prayer and the song. That was wonderful. Always a great way to begin and start. And to Denise and the whole team there at Indigenous Initiatives, thank you for the opportunity to address the class of 2020. It's been it is a true honor for me. So my name is Yolanda Wanakamik. For those who don't know me, I'm a member of the White Sand First Nation, which is located in the Robinson Superior Treaty Territory. I'm the Vice President of the Alumni Association and a proud graduate of the Political Science Program 1998, and a true testament to education never ends. Now this year, I have a Master of Education Program 2020. It is my honor and pleasure to join you in this celebration today and to bring greetings on behalf of my fellow board members and our extended alumni family. At graduation 22 years ago, I had no idea that my life would be so connected to Lakehead. I've learned so much personally and professionally being a part of the Lakehead community as a student, an employee, and now a member of the Alumni Association. This is a critical time in Indigenous education. Each and every day, Indigenous leadership, scholarship, and research for us and by us is teaching us. We are reclaiming our spaces and bringing change to the benefit of our nations and our communities. Today, we celebrate the success of over 100 brilliant minds. Each of you has put in an enormous effort in obtaining your degree. Be proud. Today is the day to honor you. I ask you to keep in mind, you are now alumni of Lakehead. You are joining over 63,000 alumni living in 97 countries around the world. You are a Lakehead for life, and it is my hope that you continue to engage in the university moving forward. There are several ways to stay connected to Lakehead through our alumni website, on social media. We have an alumni e-zine, and we also have the Journey magazine, so please stay connected. Each of us has a unique story and a shared story. I want to leave you with some words by Richard Wanakamik of Wapsimmung First Nation. one of my all-time favorite authors, and also is an honorary doctorate holder from Lakehead University. All that we are is story. From the moment we are born to the time we continue on our spirit journey, we are involved in the creation of the story of our time here. It is what we arrive with. It is all we leave behind. We are not the things we accumulate. We are not the things we deem important. We are story, all of us. What comes to matter then is the creation of the best possible story we can while we're here. You, me, us, together. When we can do that, and we can take the time to share those stories with each other, we get bigger inside. We see each other, we recognize our kinship. We change the world one story at a time. And again, on behalf of your fellow alumni, congratulations.
Miigwech, Yolanda, thank you. One of my favorite quotes. And very fitting for this evening and the days to come. I would like to just give a little bit of a preface before we watch a video of the graduates. So we are pleased to congratulate the class of 2020. They all received their honor cords by mail this past month in addition to their degrees. The yellow honor cord recognizes and acknowledges the achievements of Indigenous students. The honor cord has long been used to symbolize that the wearer has attained a specific honor or distinction, academic or otherwise. Lakehead University has proudly added the tradition of an honor cord to recognize the achievements of Indigenous graduates and to celebrate and honor the richness and knowledge they bring to our university community. The medallion on the cord was adapted from a design by alumnus Dr. Robert Bates, HBOR, BSc 2010, MD 2015, when he was an undergraduate student. The logo design presents important symbols to Indigenous peoples with symbols of academic achievement. The feather has tassels and represents a mortarboard, the graduation hat. 3 specific symbols are the medicine wheel, the infinity sign, and the Inukshuk, and you'll see that in the PowerPoint. Lakehead University is committed to working to ensure Indigenous peoples and communities are recognized and celebrated for their contributions. So we will be showing you a graduate video, and it's my pleasure to present to you the Indigenous graduating class of 2020. I would like to introduce the National Chief. We are so honored to have National Chief Perry Bellegarde here to give our keynote address for the celebration. Excuse me, 1 second. I can't read. Perry Bellegarde, re-elected National Chief of the Assembly of First Nations in 2018, holds a wealth of leadership experience. He has spent the last 30 years putting into practice his strong beliefs on the laws and traditions instilled in him by the many chiefs and elders he has known over the years. He is from Little Black Bear First Nation in Treaty 4 territory in Saskatchewan. National Chief Bellegarde has been recognized numerous times as a First Nations leader. He has been awarded the Confederation Medal, the Saskatchewan Medal, and the Queen's Jubilee Medal on 2 separate occasions. This year, the province of Saskatchewan recognized Perry with the Saskatchewan Order of Merit. National Chief Bellegarde remains grateful for the strength and vision he has gained from the elders. He vows to always place great importance on respecting their teachings. Their guidance has made him a man of foresight and a leader for generations. Please join me in welcoming National Chief Bellegarde.
Thank you, Denise. Hope everybody can hear me and see me. Nista pixkid nehe on absisi. Nenash kamun. Kenaskom tinawa kahkio. Nista ogima piesio washa sega sel. Kus kuteo maskuses uskungen utinia. I'm very happy to be with you all, and I thank you all and greet you all in a humble, respectful way. One of the names I carry is King Thunderbird Child, and I'm from Little Black Bear Reserve, Treaty 4 territory. And it's a great honor to be with you tonight. I want to begin by acknowledging the elders for the prayer, like to Jerry Martin, thank you for the prayer. Elder Beatrice for the beautiful song. And to all the good messages from Dr. Moira McPherson, the president, to the Provost, Dr. David Barnett, thank you for that. Chief Collins, Ted Williams, and Yolanda for the good messages. We're here tonight to honor and acknowledge all the good work of the graduates and students. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity to speak to all of you today. I'm especially proud to be speaking to the Lakehead University students. The institution you're graduating from today has done more to educate and empower the next generation of Indigenous leaders than almost any other in Canada. It's a record you should all be proud of. Most speeches like this tend to follow a certain well-known format. There are calls to go out into the world to do good and fulfill your dreams. These speeches tend to look forward, to speak to the future. And those are good rules to live by, and I agree with them. But graduating in the year 2020 requires a bit more thought. And I'm speaking to you via Zoom, after all, and nothing is as it once seemed. So instead of looking exclusively to the future, I want to talk a bit about the past. Not the distant past, mind you, but on January 1st, 2020, a mere 6 months ago, the world looked dramatically different than it does today. The night before, on the last day of 2019, a mysterious illness was reported for the first time in Wuhan, China. The Wet'suwet'en people and their supporters were peacefully protesting the construction of the Coastal GasLink pipeline in British Columbia. And in Minneapolis, Minnesota, a 46-year-old man named George Floyd was simply living his life. A mere 6 months later, so much has changed. More than 400,000 people have died of COVID-19, including over 8,000 Canadians. We have been forced to stay at home to avoid each other, and in some cases to suffer the loss of loved ones dying without being there to comfort them. And in cities across Canada and around the world, we are seeing people of all races and religions unite in support of the Black Lives Matter movement. So as Indigenous peoples, as First Nations peoples, we are all too familiar with the injustice and the power imbalances that are at the heart of so many of those issues. We are at a point in this country where what we must be talking about is realizing our human rights, our inherent rights and our treaty rights. We must repudiate colonialism and racism in all of its forms in favor of a contemporary human rights framework. In thinking about this most difficult year, I keep coming back to the same word. It's power. I want to talk about that word, all that underpins it, and how I think that you can harness it for good. Power is an ambiguous concept. It's hard to define exactly what it means, but you know it when you see it. You know when you have it, and more importantly, you know when you don't. You know what it feels like to have power and what it feels like to have none at all. Power can manifest itself in many ways: position, influence, wealth, race, religion, and so many more. Power is inextricably linked to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the history of First Nations people in Canada. In the case of the pandemic, early data from the City of Toronto suggests that COVID-19 hotspots are concentrated in lower income and minority communities. Put another way, if you're poor and not white, you have a better chance of contracting COVID-19. Put it even more simply, if you don't have power, you are more likely to get sick. You're more likely to lose your job, and you're more likely to die. And although the virus does not discriminate, its impacts have. We know that it has disproportionately affected women, minorities, the poor, and our most vulnerable seniors, especially nursing homes. In short, it has had its most devastating impacts on those without power. There's one aspect of power I need to touch on, and it's the reason why I'm talking to all of you today. That aspect of power which is so essential, and that's education. Education is so many things, but it is a pathway to power. By educating yourselves, by getting to the point you have reached today, you have already accumulated a great deal of power. The question is, what will you do with it? You have likely heard that phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. And I'm confident you will exercise that responsibility and power to better yourselves, your communities, your country, and the world. As First Nations people, we're all too aware of the inequities of power. We've been dealing with it for centuries. And that is why, as you consider what your futures will be, I know you will be conscious of how you leverage your newfound power. I don't want to give the impression that power is inherently bad or dangerous. It's a tool like others. How it is used depends on who is wielding it, and in your case, I trust it is in safe hands. Our elders used to always talk about two systems of education we need now to function, coexist in this world. On one hand, they would say, kindergarten to grade 12, literacy, numeracy, math and science, on to university, on to technical vocational skills training on one hand is important. But equally important on the other hand are your languages and your ceremonies and your traditions and your customs to know who you are and where you come from. You know, you need both to be strong. Before I close, I would like to return to a bit of the tried and true commencement address formula, if only for a moment. I want to express my sincere appreciation and thanks for all the people who have helped make this day possible for all of you. The teachers, professors, coaches, parents, friends, and countless others whose contributions are impossible to catalog, but equally impossible to ignore. They have willingly sacrificed their time and energy to help all of you succeed, and I know they are so proud of you today. They have been an unsung but essential part of your success. It was the same for me and my family in Saskatchewan. Graduation inevitably leads to thoughts of the future and the broader world beyond your classroom and your campus. It's exciting, thrilling, and yes, scary. More than any graduating class in recent memory, you are entering a world that seems to be shifting on its foundation. I'm sure you would rather be graduating in person and during a year like any other. Unfortunately, you're not. The downside is that you must graduate virtually and enter a world that seems impossible to explain. The upside is that times of trouble are also times of great opportunity and great change. And history teaches us that when we are tested, solutions to some of our greatest problems can be found, and much quicker than we thought possible. The first 6 months of 2020 have exposed some of our society's greatest weaknesses and biggest structural problems. Let's use the last 6 months of the year to start to talk about how we fix those problems. Let's also use the years ahead to make sure we learn from these crises and don't make the same mistakes again. Last October, I had the chance to speak at the University of Guelph. The topic was the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples. That foundational declaration was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2007, and it now serves as the framework for reconciliation in Canada and so many other countries around the world. In particular, I think the second clause of Article 14 of the Declaration is particularly important today. It's the quote, "Indigenous individuals, particularly children, have the right to all levels and forms of education of the state without discrimination." All of you are living proof of the fulfillment of that promise. Yet, if there's anything this year has taught us, it's that progress never happens in a straight line. Sometimes 2 steps forward are followed by 1 painful step back. Whether it's a virus we've never seen before, like COVID-19, or a virus we've come to know all too well, like systemic racism. 2020 has been a series of events that underscore the fragility of our society and its institutions. 2020 has shown us, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that power remains one of the most important forces shaping all of us. If you remember nothing else about what I've said today, remember this. Your education at Lakehead University has given you power. I know you will use it to make this world a better, more just, and more hopeful place. And that gives me peace. Thank you so much. Kinanaskum Tinawal, Tapamiasin. You've all done a great job. Thanks for listening. Egose.
Chimigwech. That was amazing. I had heard from a few other people that you are a very gifted orator, great speaker, I think in the tradition of our people. And it was a real privilege and pleasure to listen to you speak to the graduates today. So miigwech for that.
Hello everyone, my name is Ross Romano and I am your Minister of Colleges and Universities. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate you and all your classmates on your successful graduation today. The last several months have been an incredible challenge. We have had to learn in new and different ways, and I think it's important that we say a special thank you to all of our administration, our staff, and of course our faculty who have been working tirelessly to ensure that your courses could be delivered online, so that your exams could be completed online, so that you could be here today in this graduation ceremony. So to everybody, I say congratulations. And to our faculty and our administration and our staff, I say thank you. Please stay safe, everyone. Good luck in your future careers. I wish you the very best. Thank you.
It is my great pleasure to close our celebration today by thanking you all for attending. Again, congratulations to all the graduates and their families, friends, supporters, teachers, professors, community leaders, education directors. There's many, many, many people that have walked beside you, behind you, under you, and you know, behind you as you've made this journey today. So I would like to take this time to bring back into our circle Elder Martin, who will share a closing prayer, and Elder Twans Hines, who will sing a closing song. Elder Martin or Elder, I'm not sure who's going first.
I'm not sure. Okay, I could go first if you want. Okay. I'm going to sing the Migizi honor song. It's to, the eagle teaches us about love, and it's also a symbol of leadership. The song translates to, I see the eagle, I hear the eagle, I go with the eagle, and I honor the eagle. So this is an honor song for all the graduates. Well, hey, 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 oh. Well, hey, 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 oh. Make a ziki wop ma, make a ziki wop ma, ki wop ma, make a ziki wop ma, hey, hey, ho. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, hey, ho. Make a ziki non dwa, make a ziki non dwa, ki non dwa, make a ziki non dwa, hey, hey, ho. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, Wichiwa magazine, Wichiwa, hey, hey, ho. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, hey, ho. Megaziki kana, megaziki kana, gikana, gikana, megaziki kana, hey, hey, ho. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, hey, ho. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey. Well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, well, hey, hey, oh.
No, Mitch. I'm unmuted now. Yep. I didn't get a chance to go get my Maple Leafs and my Jets, Winnipeg Jets paraphernalia, but it's good to see sportsmanship. It's good to see so many beautiful people smiling and laughing in spite of this pandemic and what the government says we can and cannot do against those people that do not know love and kindness. I'm really glad to see the children in the room present with us always. They're our future. I ask the Great Spirit to bless you and keep you strong. Let the elders walk with you and whisper in your ears the wisdom and the teachings you must learn as you go through life. Be kind to one another, love one another, and walk in peace and harmony. Be good.
Miigwech, Elder Martin and Elder Beatrice, for opening and closing us this evening. But more than that, for always being there for all of us and the students at Lakehead University. And I know you're not the only ones that are there, but I know you're representing many of our elders that we work with both in Aurelia and in Thunder Bay. So I would like to take this moment to just extend our thanks for both of you for joining in with us this evening and continuing the guidance along our journey. To the wider group, I would like to thank you all for joining us this evening and celebrating the achievements of our graduates. We certainly got, I call them like life's nuggets, but we got several words of wisdom and sage advice from our various speakers that we had today. Ted, I got 3 of the 4 Ds. I'm going to have to call you to find out what that 4th one was. I have desire, determination, discipline, and I missed one of them. Chief Collins, always a pleasure to have you join us and encourage us in our communities here and around the region as well. National Chief Bellegarde, for your thoughts. Looking back 6 months, when you sort of summed up the last 6 months, it really does seem hard to believe that it has only been 6 months and such change in the world. And, I'm a bit of a Harry Potter fan, so I always think of the Phoenix, and I think about this often, about with tragedy, there's often greatness that comes with that. And, this is really a great opportunity for great change. And the call to the graduates to think about what will we do with it? What will we do with our degrees, our learning, our power, our voice, and our stories, as was pointed out by Yolanda. All really important things, and there are a lot of, gosh, it's endless really, but there's so many important things to be done, today and moving forward. So graduates, to you, I would like to just, on behalf of the Indigenous Initiative staffs and Lakehead University, Wish you congratulations, the best of your next steps. Some of you are actually continuing at Lakehead, so we'll get to keep seeing you. And some we'll see, later, but we'll see you at alumni events and out in the communities serving our people. So congratulations to all of you. And we wish you well in the next steps in your journey and look forward to the exceptional things that you will accomplish. On another little side note, I'd like to thank the Indigenous Initiative staffs for pulling this all together this evening. They put a lot of work in. It was a dream a year ago, and we've turned it into an opportunity with being able to do it by Zoom. Thank you to the Registrar's Office and the IPA office staff as well for helping us pull together this whole event. So on that note, I would just like to congratulate you all. I'm going to give you all a happy clap. We have, if there's any media with us this evening, Anna Chief is going to set up a room for you. So just email her or send her a chat and she'll put your name in a room. And we have a few students who've agreed to speak with everybody. I'm going to put you all back on the checkerboard mode so I can see everyone's beautiful faces and names. So congratulations to you all, and Chimiigwech, and we wish you well in your journey ahead. Walk softly. Miigwech.